So you're heading to law school. You're probably getting advice from, well, everywhere. But let's cut through all that noise and talk about the one thing that's going to hit you first and probably the hardest: the reading. Yeah, it's a beast, but stick with me and we're going to figure out exactly how you can tame it.
I want you to think about a number: hundreds. And no, that's not for the month. That's how many pages you're going to be expected to read, to analyze, and to really truly understand every single week. It's a staggering amount, and it's designed to push your limits right from day one.
And that, my friends, is what we call the reading mountain. It's put there on purpose as the very first major hurdle you've got to clear. But look, it's not there to break you. It's there to make you. Every lawyer you'll ever meet has climbed this mountain. So think of it as your first real test of grit and strategy.
And here's the real kicker. If this was just about the number of pages, you could probably power through it like a stack of novels. But it's not. Law school reading is a completely different animal. It's a whole new kind of analytical reading, a skill you have to learn, and you have to learn it fast.
So why? Why all the intensity? What's the big deal with all this reading? Well, because it's everything. This isn't just busy work to keep you up late at night. This is the absolute foundation of your entire legal education. The law, at its core, is a text-based profession, and your ability to dissect dense, complicated material is the main skill you're there to build.
Okay, so what exactly is this mountain made of? It's mostly two types of material: caudal provisions and case digests. You're going to want to get real familiar with these terms because they're about to become your new best friends. All right, first up, caudal provisions. Now that sounds a little intimidating, right? But it's actually pretty simple. These are literally the laws on the books, the specific articles and sections that spell out the legal code. You're reading the rule book, the primary source, straight up.
And then you've got case digests. So if the caudal provisions are the rule book, think of cases as the game film. These are summaries of court decisions where judges have taken those rules and applied them to real-world situations. This is where the law stops being abstract and really comes to life.
Okay, we've spent enough time defining the problem. Let's get to the solution. The absolute best way to conquer the reading mountain is to start training before you even get to the base. This is your game plan, your way to get a head start so you're not totally overwhelmed on day one.
And the plan is super simple, just 3 steps. 1, start early. You've got to build the habit. 2, ease into it. Start with some lighter, more foundational stuff. And 3, and this is maybe the most important part of all, you need to rewire your brain to practice slow comprehension.
Now you're probably asking, okay, so what in the world counts as a light legal reading? And that's a great question. You definitely don't want to just dive headfirst into a super complex corporate tax case. The goal here is to just get your feet wet with materials that are important, but also pretty straightforward. I've got 2 perfect places for you to start. First, read the 1987 Constitution. It's the highest law of the land, kind of like the blueprint for the entire legal system. After that, look up a few landmark cases. These are the famous, historically important decisions that are often written with amazing clarity. They're a great introduction.
As you start doing this, I want you to keep one thing in mind. The real goal here isn't just about building a habit or reading more pages. The ultimate goal is a fundamental shift in how you think about reading itself. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. Almost every new law student falls into the trap on the left. They see the hundreds of pages, and their first instinct is, I've got to read faster. But the real goal, the only thing that actually matters, is on the right: understanding.
If you only take one thing away from this, let it be this quote. Seriously, write this down. Speed isn't as important as understanding. Reading 20 pages and getting every single bit of it is a million times more valuable than just skimming 100 pages and retaining nothing.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final question to think about. Every time you sit down to read, ask yourself this: are you training just to finish the assignment, to check a box and say it's done? Or are you training to truly, deeply understand it? Because honestly, the answer you give yourself, that's going to make all the difference.